100 HTML technical interview questions. Question 1. What do the colspan and rowspan attributes do in HTML tables? Answer. Colspan specifies how many columns a cell should span, and rowspan specifies how many rows a cell should span in a table. Question 2. Explain the difference between HTML elements and tags. Answer. HTML elements communicate to the browser how to render text. When surrounded by angular brackets, they form HTML tags. Most of the time, tags come in a pair and surround content. Question 3. What is the difference between block level and inline elements in HTML? Answer. Block level elements occupy the full width available and have a line break before and after them. Inline elements only take up as much width as necessary and do not force line breaks. Question 4. What is the purpose of the alt attribute in HTML? Answer. The alt attribute provides alternative information for an image if a user cannot view it. This could be because of slow connection, an error in the src attribute, or if the user is using a screen reader. Question 5. How does HTML5 handle content that cannot be understood by the browser? Answer. HTML5 introduces fallback content. This is content that will be substituted for the element's content if the browser is unable to implement the element. Question 6. What is the application cache in HTML5 and why is it useful? Answer. The application cache allows an application to cache some or all of its content for offline use. This provides an ability to view/interact with the application when offline. Question 7. What is the purpose of the HTML doc type? Answer. The doc type declaration is not an HTML tag, it is an instruction to the web browser about what version of HTML the page is written in. It helps browser to render pages correctly, according to the document type. Question 8. What is semantic HTML? Answer. Semantic HTML refers to syntax that makes the HTML more comprehensible by better defining the different sections and layout of web pages. It makes web pages more informative and adaptable, allowing browsers and search engines understand the content better. Question 9. What is the role of the HTML5 canvas element? Answer. The canvas element is used to draw graphics on a web page. It works with the JavaScript to create shapes, graphs, animations, or images. It has several methods for drawing paths, boxes, circles, text, and adding images. Question 10. How can you create an email link in HTML? Answer. Email links can be created using the HTML tag in the mailto, within the href attribute. For example, a href equals mailto example at example.com greater than send email/a. When a user clicks on this link, the default email client of the user's computer opens with the to field containing the email address from the mailto link. Question 11. What is the significance of the div tag in HTML? Answer. A div tag is a container unit which is used to encapsulate other HTML elements and apply CSS styles to them as a group. It helps in layout and alignment, making it a block-level element. Question 12. What is the purpose of the head element in an HTML document? Answer. The head element in HTML contains meta information about the document, including the title, script, style, metadata, and more. This information isn't displayed on the page content but is machine parsable. Question 13. Can you explain what HTML comments are and how they work? Answer. HTML comments allow you to leave notes in your code which will not be interpreted or rendered by the browser. This can be helpful for leaving reminders or clarifying your code. Question 14. How do you differentiate between it and class attributes in HTML? Answer. The it attribute is unique in a page and is used to select a single unique element. On the other hand, a class can be used multiple times in a page for multiple elements. Question 15. How is a web page title defined in HTML? Answer. A web page title is defined within the title tags inside the head section of an HTML document. The title is displayed on the browser tab and is also used by search engines. Question 16. What does HTML5 web storage provide that previous versions of HTML did not? Answer. HTML5 introduced web storage, which allows sites to store data in a web browser. It is more secure and faster than cookies, and allows a larger amount of data to be stored locally. Question 17. Can you explain how to use HTML to structure a web page? Answer. HTML uses a series of elements and tags that act as the building blocks of a web page. Elements such as headings, paragraphs, divs, spans, etc., are used to create the structure. Semantic tags introduced in HTML5 like header, footer, section, article, etc., provide more clarity on the structure. Question 18. What is an A-frame and how is it used in HTML? Answer. An A-frame is used to display a web page within a web page. It's essentially a window to another page, and is commonly used for embedding content from other sources such as maps, videos, and more. Question 19. How does a label tag improve accessibility in HTML forms? Answer. A label tag makes form controls more user-friendly, as it wraps the input field. When the label is clicked, it results in the selection of the input element. This is particularly useful for users who have difficulty with small targets. Question 20. What is the role of HTML5 semantic elements? Answer. HTML5 semantic elements provide a clearer understanding of the web page structure to the browser and to the developers. Elements like article, aside, details, fig caption, figure, footer, header, main, mark, nav, section, summary, and time make the code easier to read and maintain. Question 21. What are HTML entities? Answer. HTML entities are special characters used in HTML to represent reserved characters, non-ASCII characters, and invisible characters such as spaces or new lines. Question 22. What is a hyperlink in HTML? Answer. A hyperlink, or simply a link, is a way to visit another web page or resource on the web. It's created using the A tag in HTML. Question 23. What are empty or void elements in HTML? Answer. Empty elements, also known as void elements, are elements in HTML that cannot have any child nodes, i.e., they can't contain any content. Examples include br, less than or greater than, m, etc. Question 24. What's the use of the span tag in HTML? Answer. Span is an inline container used to mark up a part of a text, or a part of a document. It can be styled using CSS. Question 25. What is the purpose of HTML tag in an HTML document? Answer. The HTML tag is the root of the HTML document. It's used to contain all the other HTML elements except for the less than doc type declaration. Question 26. What is the aside element in HTML5? Answer. The aside element in HTML5 represents a portion of a document whose content is only indirectly related to the main content. Question 27. What is the difference between HTML and XHTML? Answer. HTML is SGML based while XHTML is XML based. They are like two sides of the same coin. XHTML was developed to make HTML more extensible and flexible. Question 28. What is the purpose of the figure tag in HTML? Answer. The figure tag is used to encapsulate media such as an image, diagram, or code snippet along with its caption, fig caption. Question 29. What is the role of field set and legend tags in HTML? Answer. Field set is used to group several controls as well as labels within a web form, and legend tag is used to give a caption to the field set. Question 30. What is web accessibility and why is it important in HTML development? Answer. Web accessibility makes web content accessible to all users, including disabled ones. It's important to ensure equal access and equal opportunity. Question 31. What is the difference between get and post methods in HTML forms? Answer. Get appends form data into the URL and name/value pairs, post sends form data as the HTTP message body. Question 32. What does the HTML doc type declaration do? Answer. The doc type declaration helps the browser to display a web page correctly by letting it know the version of HTML used in the page. Question 33. What are meta tags in HTML? Answer. Meta tags provide information about the HTML document, like its description, author, and keywords. They also control viewport settings. Question 34. What are the common lists that are used when designing a page? Answer. The common list types are ordered lists, OL, unordered lists, UL, and definition lists, DL. Question 35. What is a marquee? Answer. Marquee is a scrolling display of text and images on a web page. However, it's deprecated in HTML5. Question 36. What is the use of base tag in HTML? Answer. The base tag specifies a base URL for all relative URLs in a page to create consistency. Question 37. What does href attribute do in HTML? Answer. Href attribute specifies the URL of the page the link goes to. Question 38. What is the role of the canvas tag in HTML5? Answer. The canvas tag is used to draw graphics, on the fly, via JavaScript. Question 39. What are the different new form element types in HTML5? Answer. HTML5 introduces new form elements like datetime, date, time, email, URL, number, range, tel. Question 40. What is the significance of the alt attribute in HTML? Answer. Alt attribute provides alternative text for an image if it cannot be displayed. Sure, here are 20 more HTML-specific interview questions with brief answers. Question 41. What is the datalist element in HTML5? Answer. The datalist element provides a suggestion drop-down list for input fields. It's linked to an input field via the list attribute. Question 42. What's the use of the picture element in HTML? Answer. The picture element allows for more flexible art direction and responsive design by loading the appropriate image based on viewport size and screen resolution. Question 43. What is the purpose of the main element in HTML5? Answer. The main element represents the dominant content of the body of a document. The content should be unique to the document. Question 44. What are data attributes used for in HTML? Answer. Data attributes are used to store custom data private to the page or application. The stored data can be used in JavaScript to create a more engaging user experience. Question 45. How does the download attribute work in HTML? Answer. The download attribute in HTML5 instructs the browser to download the linked resource rather than opening it. Question 46. What does the autofocus attribute do in HTML? Answer. The autofocus attribute automatically focuses the cursor in a form input field when the page loads. Question 47. What is the difference between src and src set attributes in an image element? Answer. src specifies the path to the image. src set specifies the path to different resolution images, allowing the browser to choose the best one based on device pixel ratio and viewport size. Question 48. What is the role of required attribute in HTML forms? Answer. The required attribute is a Boolean attribute used to specify that an input field must be filled out before the user can submit the form. Question 49. What is the meter tag in HTML5? Answer. The meter tag in HTML5 represents a scalar measurement within a known range, or a fractional value. For example, disk usage or the relevance of a search result. Question 50. What is the mark tag in HTML? Answer. The mark tag in HTML is used to highlight parts of the text for reference or interest, typically due to its relevance in another context. Question 51. What is the HTML audio element? Answer. The audio element in HTML is used to embed sound content in documents. It can contain one or more audio sources, represented by source elements. Question 52. What is the output element in HTML? Answer. The output element represents the result of a calculation or user action. Question 53. What is the progress element in HTML? Answer. The progress element represents the progress of a task, like a download or a web page loading. Question 54. What does the sandbox attribute do in a frame? Answer. The sandbox attribute enables extra restrictions to the content in a frame, like preventing scripts from running. Question 55. What is the details and summary elements in HTML? Answer. Details creates a disclosure widget in which information is visible only when the widget is toggled into an open state. Summary is used as the heading for the content. Question 56. What is the purpose of the header and footer elements in HTML5? Answer. The header element represents a container for introductory content or a set of navigational links. The footer element represents a container for the section it applies to. It typically contains information about its section. Question 57. What is the track element in HTML? Answer. The track tag is used with video and audio elements to provide text tracks like captions or subtitles. Question 58. What is the purpose of the address element in HTML? Answer. The address element is used to supply contact information for its nearest article or body ancestor. Question 59. What is the nav element in HTML5? Answer. The nav element is a semantic container for navigation links. Question 60. What is the time element in HTML5? Answer. The time element is used to represent either a time on a 24-hour clock or a precise date in the Gregorian calendar. Sure, here are 20 more HTML-specific interview questions with brief answers. Question 61. What is the purpose of the WBR element in HTML5? Answer. The WBR, word break opportunity, element represents a position within text where the browser may optionally break a line. Question 62. What is the Ruby element in HTML? Answer. Ruby elements are used to provide pronunciation information for East Asian typography, adding small phonetic characters above the normal text. Question 63. What are the new input types in HTML5? Answer. HTML5 introduced many new input types such as color, date, datetime local, email, number, range, search, tell, time, URL, and week. Question 64. What is the purpose of the template tag in HTML5? Answer. The template tag is a mechanism for holding client-side content that should not be rendered when a page is loaded but may be instantiated during runtime. Question 65. What is the difference between section and article elements in HTML5? Answer. Section is a thematic grouping of content. Article represents a self-contained composition that can be independently distributed or syndicated. Question 66. What does the content editable attribute do in HTML? Answer. Content editable attribute allows the text within the element to be edited in the browser. Question 67. What is the difference between HTML5's SVG and Canvas elements? Answer. SVG is a vector-based format, which makes it resolution independent. Canvas is raster-based, which makes it resolution dependent. Question 68. What is a character encoding in HTML? Answer. Character encoding is a system that pairs each character of a written language with a unique number. Question 69. What is the use of rel attribute in HTML? Answer. Rel attribute specifies the relationship between the current document and the linked document/resource. Question 70. What is the use of the dialog element in HTML? Answer. The dialog element represents a dialog box or other interactive component, like an inspector or window. Question 71. What is the role of the NaScript tag in HTML? Answer. NaScript tag is used to provide an alternative content for users that have either disabled scripts in their browser or have a browser that doesn't support script. Question 72. What is a viewport in HTML? Answer. Viewport is the user's visible area of a web page. It varies with the device, it will be smaller on a mobile phone than on a computer screen. Question 73. What is the hidden attribute in HTML? Answer. The hidden attribute is a Boolean attribute that indicates whether the element is not relevant or should be hidden from view. Question 74. What is an HTML collection? Answer. An HTML collection is a type of array-like object which lists HTML elements. Question 75. What is local storage in HTML5? Answer. Local storage allows web applications to store data persistently in a web browser's cache. Question 76. What are defer and async attributes in a JavaScript script tag? Answer. Defer and async are attributes that change how the script is executed. Defer waits until the HTML document is fully loaded and parsed. Async does not wait and will pause the HTML parser to execute the script. Question 77. What does the colspan and rowspan attributes do in HTML tables? Answer. Colspan specifies how many columns a cell should span, and rowspan specifies how many rows a cell should span in a table. Question 78. What is the purpose of dir attribute in HTML? Answer. The dir attribute in HTML is used for directionality of the text. It can be later, left to right, or RTL, right to left. Question 79. What is the figure and fig caption elements in HTML? Answer. Figure is used to mark up a photo in a document, or a code snippet, among other things, and can be an independent content unit. Fig caption is used to provide a caption to a figure. Question 80. What is the legend tag in HTML? Answer. The legend tag defines a caption for the fieldset element and helps the user identify what information is expected in the fieldset. Sure, here are the final 20 HTML-specific interview questions with brief answers. Question 81. What is an entity in HTML? Answer. An entity in HTML is a way of representing characters that have special meaning in HTML, non-ASCII characters, or characters that can't be typed using a keyboard. Question 82. What is the purpose of the ins and del tags in HTML? Answer. Ins and del tags in HTML are used to represent inserted, added, and deleted text. Question 83. What does the abbreviated tag do in HTML? Answer. The abbreviated tag is used to define an abbreviation or an acronym. When you hover over the element, the full description is displayed. Question 84. What is the purpose of aside element in HTML5? Answer. The aside element is used to represent a section of a page that contains content aside from the content it is placed in, like a sidebar. Question 85. What is the use of the code tag in HTML? Answer. The code tag is used to define a piece of computer code. It displays in a monospace font. Question 86. What is the purpose of the cite element in HTML? Answer. The cite element represents the title of a work, book, paper, essay, poem, score, song, script, film, TV show, game, sculpture, painting, musical, exhibition, etc. This can be a work that is being quoted or referenced in detail, or it can be a work that is being mentioned casually or in passing. Question 87. What is the KBD element in HTML? Answer. The KBD element is used to denote text to be inputted by the user. It represents the textual input that is typically entered through the keyboard. Question 88. What is the purpose of small tag in HTML? Answer. The small tag is used to display text in a smaller size. It's often used for disclaimers, caveats, legal restrictions, or copyrights. Question 89. What is the strong tag in HTML? Answer. The strong tag is used to define text with strong importance. The content is typically displayed in bold. Question 90. What is the pre-element in HTML? Answer. The pre-tag in HTML represents preformatted text. Text within this element is typically displayed in a non-proportional font exactly as it is laid out in the file. Question 91. What is the Q tag in HTML? Answer. The Q tag defines a short quotation. Browsers normally insert quotation marks around the quotation. Question 92. What does the BDO element do in HTML? Answer. The BDO, bidirectional override, tag is used to override the current text direction. Question 93. What is the purpose of sub and sup elements in HTML? Answer. Sub tag defines subscript text. Sup tag defines superscript text. Question 94. What is the var element in HTML? Answer. The var tag is used to define a variable in programming or in a mathematical expression. The contents of the tag are typically displayed in italic. Question 95. What is the use of DFN tag in HTML? Answer. The DFN tag is used to highlight the introduction of a definition. Question 96. What is the SAMP element in HTML? Answer. The SAMP tag is used to define sample output from a computer program. Question 97. What does the progress element represent in HTML? Answer. The progress element represents the completion of a task, such as downloading or when performing a series of expensive operations. Question 98. What is the purpose of mark element in HTML? Answer. The mark tag provides a way to highlight text due to its relevance in another context. Question 99. What does the output tag do in HTML? Answer. The output tag represents the result of a calculation or user action. Question 100. What is the purpose of the BD element in HTML? Answer. The BD, bidirectional isolation, element isolates a span of text that might be formatted in a different direction from other text outside it.